Yo, it's Cole. What is good, YouTube? I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in a minute. Since the Cold War, I haven't talked to y'all boys and girls. But, as you guys can see by the background, we not in Miami. We not at the crib right now. I've been on the road for about 2 weeks now. And don't worry, I've been getting clips of you guys because obviously I'm on the road for soccer, for football. So I've been getting clips for you guys. Journey to Pro. Is it Journey to Pro I named it? I think it's Journey to Pro. Episode 2 coming soon. I've been trying to get as much clips for you guys as possible, but I have been locked over here. I'm not gonna lie. So that video is coming out soon. Make sure you guys subscribe, do all that, so you know when that comes out. But yeah, I miss you guys, man. It's been tough out here. I've been on the road kind of by myself for a little while now, and I'm glad. I've been delaying this, I'm not gonna lie. I bought a new camera, by the way, too. Spent a bag on it, and I haven't even been using it. So I'm glad I picked it up today. Yeah, bro, I've been delaying, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know what it is, but lately I just didn't really want to pick up the camera. So I'm glad I did it today, and we got a good video, a calm little video coming out today, or whenever I drop this. It's gonna be me. As you guys know, my channel, I do fun stuff, but I also do personal stuff, and I want to do that more, and I want you guys to know everything about me for real. So today I'm gonna be talking about the three biggest obstacles I've had to overcome in my career so far. I feel like right now, God put it in my heart to share it with you guys. For everyone who's going through obstacles themselves, this video is gonna help you a lot. So let's get into it. Grah. Number 1, the first obstacle I want to tell you guys about that I've had to face on my journey: getting dropped from the second team, semi-pro team, MLS Next Pro team, whatever you want to call it. And I say getting dropped like this because there was multiple things that went into it. There was not just things I can control, but also things that I couldn't control. About 2 years ago, I'm gonna try to keep these short, by the way, like 3 minutes. If I go over that, just mind me. About 2 years ago, I was a starter for the second team, as a lot of you guys know. For those who don't know what a second team is, it's basically the reserve team, semi-pro. I was a starter for them, and my journey was on the rise. I went from academy to 17's year to semi-pro. And I thought the next jump was about to be pro. I thought I was just gonna go like this, and I was just gonna be a pro. God had something else for me. God had tests for me. He had plans for me that I didn't even know. Basically, I went from my 17th year, which has been a really good year, to straight into the semi-pro team. I was a starter. I was starting games. I was playing a lot. I had scored a couple goals. I had a good impact on the team. I was an impactful player. I was important to the club, and it was good times. Everything was positive. Keep in mind, in my career, I've never faced a plateau. So I've always just kind of been the star kid and always going up. And now, a little while after that season, going into the next season, I had reached that plateau, that stuck point. And that was probably the biggest, I'd say, I not only as a player, but also as a person, that plateau really affected me. I was going through a lot of stuff off the field. I wasn't myself. At this time, I didn't really have the Lord, Jesus Christ. I didn't fully devote my life to him, and I was basically living life with my knowledge and just me. Worst mistake ever. Now that I know, Jesus Christ is the only answer, is what I'm trying to say. But I had reached that plateau, and it was starting to just come down. Things were falling apart in my life. And a little while after that, I didn't start for the second team. What else? I got moved down to the U19s. Going from academy to semi-pro, and then you have to come back to academy. That messed up my head as well. There was so many different factors that were affecting me mentally, and due to some stuff happening, I was with the 19s again. I was with the 19s, and I wouldn't say I went in every day and gave my 100%. I was kind of mad at the world. I was kind of like, nah, I'm not with the second team anymore. I'm not gonna try. I was still balling. We ended up winning that championship, but I wasn't my best self at that time. And it had affected me so much because this was my first big adversity in footy I've had to face. And summer, I wasn't with the second team. I was training by myself, working every day. That's when I really found my spiritual side. So God did that for a reason. That's what I'm trying to say here. He does everything for a reason. Anyone that's going through something right now, He is putting you through that for a reason. And you may not understand now, but later you will understand. John 3:16. But I really spent so much time with the Lord that year, or that summer. I had spent so much time with myself, and I had found that bounce back, and I felt like myself again, because God had removed me from the second team and put me through that hardship. I found myself again. And a little while after that, I had some other opportunities somewhere else, and I came back to Inter Miami. And what I realized about this whole thing is God had put me back in that same situation with a different perspective. I was playing U19s again when I went back to Inter, but the way that I thought was completely different, and that's all praise to God Himself. He really put me back there. It's like He took me out and said, "You know what, Kobe, you're gonna learn, and you're gonna be with me." And I got so close with Him, and when I went back, I was completely different. I walked in every day. I was humble. I was happy to be there. I was helping my team. I was helping my coaches. I was a completely different person, and each one of these hardships has a positive outcome, and that's all thanks to God. He does everything for a reason, and you really truly got to believe that. But that is the first big adversity I've had to face in my career. I'm so glad it happened to me, honestly, because I wouldn't be the person and player I am today without that plateau and downward fall that I really found God. And that was such an important time for me, so I'm so grateful for that. And yeah, let's get into the second one. Number 2, the second big obstacle, adversity I've had to overcome in my career so far. More recent one, actually. Social media, I'll say that. As most of you guys know, a year and some change ago, I picked up the camera. Thanks to Brandon, one of my best friends. He believed in me, he saw something in me that I didn't even see. I picked up the camera, and I started this journey of my social media career, influencer career, whatever you want to call it. And I had no idea I would be looking at the camera and I'm making YouTube videos. I just kind of started it because I liked it and I fell in love with it, and I'm so grateful because I feel like I get to impact so many other people, and that's what it's about for me. I don't do anything for myself. Obviously I do stuff for myself, but I like impacting others, and I'm a really unselfish person, and social media has helped me for that. Getting to the obstacle part. 2 things here, and I'll keep them short for you guys. 1, dealing with the balance of social media, or of social media and soccer. Dealing with that balance of not putting one over the other, and trying to keep them both like this. What I realize about this is, as long as you know that you're balancing them like this, don't listen to anybody else, because no matter what, somebody's always gonna say something. To anyone who's kind of, maybe I've inspoed or someone else inspoed and they picked up the camera and they're dealing with the same thing about this balance, as long as you know that you're balancing them the way you should be, and you really believe that nothing's above, and they're both kind of elevating, that's all that matters. Because what I realized is, no matter what, people are gonna think you're putting one over the other. Someone's gonna think, like, people, for me, for example, people think I put social media above footy. Some people think I put footy above social media. Whatever the case may be, but I know that I elevate in both, and I balance them both. But that didn't just come. That took time for me, and over this journey with my social media stuff, I've had thoughts of quitting one, because I need to just focus on one, because these are on us. These are what people are telling me. I had to deal with, yo, Kobe, you're a YouTuber now. Yo, Kobe, you don't care about soccer anymore. I was really in my head because of what other people were saying, and it started affecting me. There was moments where I thought about just throwing the camera down and just being like, you know what, people are saying this, I just got to do that. But I realized I'm never gonna quit because of other people and the enemy. I'm gonna stay true to myself. I know I could balance this, and that's all that matters, and I'm gonna make it happen. But there were thoughts about maybe quitting, and quitting this, quitting that, and because I need to just focus on one, that's what people are saying. But nah, I'm gonna do both like I have been doing, and I'm gonna elevate in both. I'm gonna balance them to the best of my ability, and I'm gonna keep growing. The second part in that's a huge, even though it may not seem like a huge challenge, maybe talking about it, having to deal with that balance and dealing with what other people are saying, it was a hard thing for me. I'd never been a social media person. I was always a quiet person, and now I had to start dealing with everything that comes with it, about putting your life and your journey on here. A lot of people don't really, they're never gonna understand like you do, and never gonna see the vision like you do, and I had to deal with that. And I feel like the second hard part about this is I felt like it was affecting my career with footy. And people were saying, coaches, I've heard coaches say it, I've heard teammates, whatever it was, and that really got to my head. And it was just, I guess all I'm trying to say is, dealing with what everyone else was saying it got hard for me, because I knew I could do it, but other people were making me think I couldn't do it. So that being said, that's a huge hardship I've had to deal with ever since I picked up the camera, that I wanted to share with you guys. I do want to shout out someone. He has no idea who I am, but shout out Jared McCain. For everyone that doesn't know, he just signed with the NBA, and something I look up to him. I've been doing more research on him, and I never really knew him before, but something I've learned from him just recently is he stayed true to himself no matter what. He knew his vision. For anyone that doesn't know, he's an influencer as well, and he's also in the NBA now. And he really made me realize, like, you know what, I'm just stay true to myself no matter what. And Nobody's gonna make me quit. Nobody's gonna make me stop being me. No matter what the case is. And he just now signed in the NBA. Congrats to him. But that's someone I look up to. Y'all can look him up if you don't know who he is. But just really, any advice I could give someone about this obstacle I've had to face is really stay true to yourself. And there's one thing to take in feedback from other people, but don't let them twist your mind and change your beliefs about what you can and can't do. You know what you could do. You know you could balance it. You know you could do it. Go do it. Like, don't really pay attention to what the negative things people are saying. That's something I had to deal with. I was questioning my I don't know what the word is, but just my careers, I guess, because I really wanted to do both, and people made me think I could only do one, and it honestly hurt me because I didn't want to lose either of them. So look at me now. I'm doing both, and I'm happy, and that's all thanks to God. All praise to God. And for everyone that's going through that, you could do both. Stay true to yourself. Don't change for no man, no woman, no nothing. Let's get into the third one. Shout out to the sponsor of today's video, Victory Insoles. I'll be using the Victory Insoles in my workout today as well as my future games. Victory Insoles are designed for athletes to make them jump higher and run faster. The Victory Insoles have a carbon fiber back, and they even offer a 90-day money-back guaranteed, no questions asked. This was my first time using Victory Insoles, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm definitely gonna continue to use them. Yo! Nah, I actually got up. Number 3, the final obstacle that I want to tell you guys about I've had to face on my journey so far. This is one I got to deal with the rest of my life, and this is the hardest one for sure that I got to wake up and deal with. For anyone who doesn't know, I have type 1 diabetes, and I don't put it out there and talk about it as much as I should, but I am open with it. I got more open with it, and this is something I want to tell you guys about that has been a huge obstacle for me on my journey, and I'm still overcoming it to this day. So, that being said, the last part of this video, I was diagnosed with diabetes at 10 years old. I'm 18 now. 8 years. Yeah, I'm tweaking. 8 years, I was diagnosed with diabetes. 8 years ago, almost to this day, actually. That's crazy. The doctor, it had really gone down like this. I was away on a vacation, and I had noticed I'm pissing OD, and I feel drowsy, and I just don't feel, I feel like sick, like I was almost sick, and I had a urine infection. I don't know what was up, but that's how I felt. Keep in mind, I had no idea what diabetes was. At 10 years old, bro, you're eating Oreos and honey buns, and you don't care about diabetes. Like, you don't know anything about it. So I had been away. I got back to Florida. I went to the doctor thinking, oh, I'd have a urine infection or whatever. The doctor says, your blood sugar right now, you should be in a coma. My blood sugar was almost 1,000. 1,000. For anyone who doesn't know, your blood sugar is supposed to be in between 80 and 120. Mine was 1,000. I should be in a coma right now. The doctor had sent me to the ER, and I spent 3 days, I remember, in the ER thinking, what is this? When someone tells you have to deal with a disease for the rest of your life, think about it. You get one life. Someone tells you have to deal with a disease your entire life. You're like, oh my goodness. What? Like, what? What are you even saying? 3 days that went by, they put a bunch of tests in me and IVs and all that, and I had been diagnosed with diabetes, and the first thing I asked the doctor is, can I still play football the way I do? And she said, thank God, I had an amazing doctor. So most doctors and these famous athletes stories be like, no, you can never play again. Nah, that wasn't my doctor. My doctor was like, you know what? Yeah, a lot of people this affects them, but nah, you could go out there, you could play, you could be a professional, go do it. This is not gonna stop you. Shout out to her. I love you, Dr. Wolf. I love you so much. And she gave me that belief off rip. That night out of the hospital, I went to go play. And I felt so happy I could still play. This is a test that I've later come to realize now that God really knew what he was doing with that test. I would not be the person I am at all today without diabetes. It plays such a learning role in my life. I learned so much because I have this. I've learned so much about discipline. I learned so much about inspiring others, because just because something happens to you doesn't mean anything. That doesn't change who you are. I've learned about me more. I've learned about God more because of it. I have learned more about other people with that. There's so much I could say about diabetes and how positive this negative thing is to me. Every negative thing can be turned into a positive. I promise you that. God really knew what he was doing when he tested me. And he gave it to me because I can deal with it. I'm strong enough. There's a lot of people that they struggle to deal with diabetes. Me, I deal with it like I don't even have it. A lot of you guys don't even know I have it. And God said, you know what, Kobe? Here, I'm going to give you this, but it's going to make you this. And I'm so grateful for it, honestly. Basically, any advice I could give to someone who's dealing with this or disease or anything like this is, number one, God doesn't give you anything you can't handle. Number two, if I can do it, so can you. No excuse. And number three, hold up, let me cook. Number three, you only can't if you think you can't. Let that cook in for anyone watching this right now. Just give it a sec, let it cook. You only can't if you think you can't. I'm so grateful for diabetes. It sounds crazy to say, but I'm literally so grateful for it. This has obviously been a challenge on the field and off the field I've had to deal with. I have to wake up in the middle of the night. I have to eat certain things. I can't eat like a normal person. I have to constantly monitor my blood sugar. I have to constantly wear 2 devices on my body. Some of you guys have seen and asked questions. That's what it is. I have constantly had to fight with my body for years because this is uncurable. It's incurable. You can't cure it. So I wake up every day and I fight another day with diabetes. Although it tries to break me, it never breaks me because, like I said, God, he knew what he was doing. I have the strength to deal with this. And on the field, there's times I've had to miss training because of it. There's times I haven't been my best self. There's times I haven't performed my best. There's times I'm not getting good sleep. I can't eat the right way. And it affects my performance. So this obstacle has affected my performance on the field and off the field. A lot of times I'm drowsy and nonchalant and lazy maybe. That's not really me. I'm not a lazy person at all, but sometimes I can't control my diabetes the perfect way, and it affects, and people may get the wrong image of me, and that's been hard to deal with all my life because coaches have called me lazy, and I'm not lazy at all, but sometimes I'm fighting a battle with my body, and it's hard to constantly win in that battle sometimes, and sometimes my blood sugar's high or it goes low, and I can't control that. So just waking up and dealing with that every single day has been such a challenge, on and off the field, but I'm so grateful for it at the same time. That's really it, boys. If you guys want to know more about anything I just talked about, if you're still here, by the way, I love you so much, because I just talked for 20 minutes and you're still here listening to my voice. I'm probably getting annoying now, so I want to just post this talking video for anyone that just want to know about me and learn more about me. I want to share this with you guys, because this platform is for me to do that. And I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful, bro, for all those obstacles. They've all made me who I am today. And last words for anyone that's watching this is, I think the main thing is, God doesn't give you anything you can't handle. He knows what you're capable of. Sometimes you have to push that extra mile step that you don't even know you have to overcome that obstacle or adversity, but God knows you can. So trust in the Lord with all your heart, and don't lean on your own understanding, because you'll never understand. Trust me, we've all tried. I love you guys, man, so much. I'm gonna be posting more. I know it took like 2-3 weeks off, but I've been away with soccer, obviously. So next video, episode 2, Journey to Pro. I love you guys with all my heart. I hope you enjoyed this little talking video. 3 obstacles I've had to face in my career that I'm overcoming, type shit. We lit, man. Still smile every day. We lit.